Hello guys, welcome to another Age of Empires forecasted game. This time we have the Ayyubids and the color green. It is our chess player, let's call him like that. And his opponent, with already a couple of farms, playing as the Order of the Dragon in the color blue, it's Baltune. Welcome everybody. There are quite interesting changes that has happened for the Ayyubids and Order of the Dragon in the latest patch. And I'm quite curious to see how this goes. So let's start first with Order of the Dragon. The most obvious one is the villager production time. It went from 24 seconds to 23. So you may think like, oh, it's just 1 second, but it really adds up. Like in basically, you will have an extra villager every, I don't know how many minutes, but compared to before. Anyway, it's just a slight buff. I don't think it's nothing like, not like a big deal. The other thing, it's the Burgrave, and the Burgrave Palace that produces units really cheap and faster. It's not as good as the Holy Roman Empire that produces like super fast. But it got a slight buff. I think it went from 30% production speed to 35%. So it is a small buff, but I don't think there are really big changes to the Order of the Dragon. At least not there yet. Meanwhile, Ayyubids, it's totally different. So not really totally different, but it changed quite a bit. The first big change was the economic wing industry. Now this gives you 350 wood. So I'm wondering if people are actually gonna go for, you know, the just mine the stone while you're aging up, and as soon as you age up, you have enough wood to build a second town center, and probably you will be like the fastest, you know, the fastest civilization to actually set up a second town center. It looks like it's not gonna be that. It's just gonna be sticking with the tradition, 3 villagers as soon as you age up. But this opens up a world of possibilities, to be honest. The other thing was this one, the Cultural Wing Logistics. Now they're healing aura. It's not only on age 4, so it's actually on all the ages. So probably people can go to this one to just buff all their units. And, you know, the dervish cost also increased. So it's not like they got a slight nerf on that, but dervish were already very good. And the last one is the trade wing bazaar. The skirmishes are a little bit stronger. You know, this little guy that we usually don't see, they got a little buff. They are a little bit stronger, so maybe we see them again. I don't know. I don't know about that. Looks like our chess player is sticking to the traditions. Not gonna try something wild. Baltune, gonna go for the Iron Chapel. Now, Order of the Dragon don't really need to go Iron Chapel necessarily, just because the main work is really good, especially if you do a Man-at-Arms Rush, which a lot of people like to do. They get the other landmark where they can buff the Man-at-Arms and send them across the map, and they get 20% like less damage, I believe, when they get less than 20% health. And it's just really tanky, and by the time you get there, you also can get +1 range armor. And just the guy that arrived here is extremely buff. Like, you stay here the whole time. It's like, it's kind of like a really cool strategy, to be honest. It works quite well, but I guess we're not gonna see that now. Looks like, by the looks of this, both players looking forward to getting that castle age right there. 3 villagers for free. Gonna grab a little bit of wood. That's a lot of wood for the Ayyubids, to be honest. That's a lot of villagers on wood. I wonder why he wants the wood for. It's unclear to me what his strategy is. There you go. There you go, the answer. We got a stable coming out. Looks like he's gonna be the one harassing the opponent. Meanwhile, Baltune going for a stable of his own with bigger horses. So it's only a matter of like the problem is the train timeout. Like these take 27 seconds to build, whereas these horsemen take 23. So it's not such a big of a deal. It's like Baltune will be okay here already. Both players with one horseman on the queue, and let me tell you, this horseman is not definitely will beat the other horseman ass for sure. Like, these are like little knights, and they're really that good. But this seems to me like it's not like a fully committed to attack, but most likely just harass the opponent. Archers coming up for the Ayyubids. Good luck, my friend. Good luck. Big boy already coming here. And you need a spearman to deal with this. Look at this. 15 attack. 250 HP. Against 9 attack and 125 HP. So it's not exactly twice as stronger, but it does have twice as health. And it's significantly, you know, it's stronger compared to the other guys. And looks like Ayyubids actually want to go to that castle age. Look at this guy, it's just tanking all the damage. We're not gonna see any spearmen from our Ayyubids player, unfortunately. And without a spearman, this is gonna be really hard. And potentially you can go those camel archers, but they work quite well, to be honest. They do work quite well. They're actually gonna go for the Desert Raider. It's not a bad choice, especially because you debuff those cavalry units. But technically, horsemen counter Desert Raider because they are considered archery type of unit, and they just give extra damage to, you know, to. I don't know what's happening to my brain today. It's just giving extra damage to those archers, so they are considered archers, to be honest. So are not as good as you think, but should be good enough. Baltune looking for that castle age. Already have plenty of villagers on gold. Looks like Ayyubids, our Ayyubids player says like great minds think alike, and at this point it's just a game of who stops making units. Because if you stop making units, then you go there faster. And if your opponent isn't making any unit, then you're not really, you know, using those units for something unless they attack you. So unless you have more units than your opponent and you go there and harass, then it's just a matter of stop making units, and it's a race of who goes to castle age faster. And looks like Baltune will just use this couple of horsemen just to harass. Not exiles for these villagers, so both players with same eco upgrades. And wondering if he will go for the Colchon Wing advancement, just to be really safe on the castle age timing. Looks like it's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be that. Baltune looking really good with that farm transition. That's a cool thing about the Holy Roman Empire. Their farms around the Akan Chapel. It's just the best way to gather. And these guys already have, like, they are better villagers than the average. So just a slight buff. It's not bad at all. It's not bad. It's not as good as the Holy Roman Empire, to be honest. But it's still better than nothing. And we already watching the Burgrave Palace. Take a look at this. In the front of the base, we're gonna see some man-at-arms action and potentially some spearmen as well. Meanwhile, Ayyubids with a little bit of a miss macro. Are we have enough for A-Shop? And we're gonna see the Cultural Wing logistics, where it give you 3 dervish and improve units healing by 25%. And you know, this is really good. I'm really curious to see how this works out. Definitely having those dervishes out as soon as you A-Shop is really good to contest those relics. But I wonder if Baltune will have enough map control to stop it. Looks like the Ayyubids player is going to harass, but it's too little too late. And let's see which units Baltune is looking forward to. Potentially gonna go for a spearman, to be honest. Never mind, it's just a man-at-arms. It's like, I don't care about the horseman. I just wanna be have a tanky dude, and Monastery already there to contest some relics. Now, does the Ayyubid player know about which landmark? I think he does. Like, the freaking observer mode always gets bugged when I switch the player's point of view. So yeah, it's unfortunate. We cannot really tell if he knows the landmark, but probably he does. And now these guys take 20 seconds to build. Before they took a little bit more, and now obviously they are cheaper. 130 foot, 26 gold. It's almost like a regular man at arms. So definitely gonna worth it. Gilded Knight already out on the field, somewhere in the map. There you go. Big guy here. Meanwhile, Asia not finished yet. Unfortunately, the big boy will arrive, and all these villagers will have to run, because there's no way even the town center will just not deal enough damage to take down this boy. No +1 range armor for the Ayyubids, so well, what I'm talking about? Oh, no +1 range, no +2 range attack. Oh my god, this is the problem, guys. When you go to the mountains. I went to the mountains in China just to have a better view of the city. It's just a lot happening. No, not gonna happen here. Do these man-at-arms attack faster, actually? Well, anyway, I was outside for quite some time, and I'm just wrapping my head around of using a computer and talking, which... but anyway, let's get back into the game. Gilded man-at-arms already camping that relic. 2 relics coming for the Ayyubids, 1 relic coming for Order of the Dragon player. Meanwhile, more units coming for Baltune here to guard this relic. He's gonna grab it. It's like it's gonna be a 2-2 situation, and this one should be into the Ayyubids domain, but let's see if he managed to contest this. Couple of relics already going home, and with that there is plenty of food going on for Baltune. I wonder if he's thinking about an Imperial Age. I'm just not so sure. Probably he's thinking about an Imperial Age, and with that the difference between these two players is just gonna be too big. Look at that, connecting houses. And by the way, this got nerfed. This used to be... it's just to I'm sure it got nerfed. It's research speed plus 50%. I think they didn't change the text. Now it research 25%, I believe. Not 50%. That's too much. I remember it got nerfed. I'm like 99% sure that one got nerfed. So I haven't tested if that's actually the case. Meanwhile, Inspired Warriors coming for Baltune. Gonna inspire all these boys, and he's gonna actually not gonna go for that Imperial Age. He's actually gonna be spending more in his military to fight a little bit longer in the Castle Age. Crossbows coming up for the Ayyubids. Meanwhile, Sacred Sites being the capture. Single horseman, enough to scare an Ayyubid. Look at that, he's healing Ara. It's just healing all the time, which is amazing. Not this point where you take the game from. Like, let's take a look at the income per minute. Sorry for that, guys. 14 minutes into the game, we haven't changed to income per minute. So definitely you want to think about scaling economically, because I mean, you don't want to have even fights against Order of the Dragon. And I don't know if you play against Order of the Dragon too often, but in my experience, in the Castle Age, they are just really hard to deal with. Like, it's just so hard to win a fight against those guys. We can see military value is about to be the same. You know, 38 military units against 33. These guys count at 2, so there's actually half people here from compared to the number that you see above. despite that, it's always a matter of, you know, am I really gonna win that fight? Like, you're never really sure. And technically you have things right. You have camel lancers, you have crossbows. You just need to be aware of the Lankenet, because they're just gonna melt your crossbows. Or probably potentially all the units, because they do have AoE damage. So that's a lot of crossbows here. Archers are not gonna be upgraded. It's like, forget about it. No worries. Plenty of gold for the Ayyubids, to be honest. Meanwhile, Baltune just keep pumping those Lankenet. They're really expensive, but with this one they're quite okay. They used to cost way more gold, and now this is pretty affordable. And I think Burger into Lankenet can actually be the play here. I don't think it's really easy for your opponent. Look at the damage of the Lankenet, man. And there's too many horsemen for those crossbows, unfortunately. This army is not getting alive. Villagers trying to gather the deer at the front of the base. Not gonna happen. They will have to retreat. And for now, all these crossbows are just going down. It's just too many horsemen. And I think he didn't expect his opponent to just make horsemen in the Castle Age, because it's just mostly a Feudal Age unit for the Order of the Dragon. But like, he's heavily invested into those horsemen, and now he went from pretty equal army value to pretty much nothing. And now these guys are just gonna stay here like if it was their house. And to be honest, I don't think the Ayyubids have the economy to just build more army and deal with this. Crossbows just melted. And the crossbows, you really needed the crossbows to take down these man-at-arms. Even for crossbows, cannot really just take down one. It's just really game over at this point. Camel Lancers are just such a good unit, but it would have worked a long time ago. Just spend those resources into Camel Lancers. It's one of those situations where, like, it all comes about just having the right unit for the right fight. Like, even you have the same numbers, not having the right unit is so costly, and it's more evident here against Order of the Dragon, because against normal civilizations you have a better chance to take down the horsemen one by one when you have a lot of crossbows. But against this one, these guys just have too much HP, and Ayyubids player taps out. Well played by these two players. I hope you enjoyed this match, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye and take care.